Gentlemen, let me ask you something personal. Have you ever wished you could feel that surge of energy, that firmness, that stamina you had in your younger years without relying on pills? You're not alone. For millions of men over 50, intimacy starts to feel different. You still want it. You still care about it, but your body doesn't always respond the way you'd like, and that can be frustrating. But what if I told you there's a simple natural drink you can have just 30 minutes before intimacy that helps your blood flow better, boosts your energy, and sharpens your responsiveness without the side effects of medication? And it's backed by science. Stay with me, because today I'm going to walk you through exactly what this drink is, why it works, how to prepare it, and how to use it safely. You know, after the age of 50, your body has this interesting way of changing without always sending out those obvious warning alarms. It doesn't announce
these shifts with dramatic fanfare. Instead, it does it quietly, almost subtly, working behind the scenes until one day you suddenly notice that things just aren't quite the same anymore. Maybe you've noticed that your recovery after a good workout feels slower than it used to. Perhaps that razor-sharp mental focus you once took for granted now seems to fade in and out throughout the day. And yes, if we're being completely honest here, your performance in the bedroom might feel less dependable, less predictable than it used to be when you were younger. Here's the truth that many men don't realize. These changes often have far less to do with simply getting old, as if age itself is some kind of disease, and much more to do with what's actually happening inside your blood vessels, your hormone systems, and your body's natural energy production mechanisms. Take testosterone, for instance. This is the hormone that literally fuels your drive, influences your mood, and gives you the ability to maintain muscle mass and strength. Yes, testosterone starts to decline naturally as part of the aging process. But here's what's crucial to understand. For many men, lifestyle factors actually speed up that decline significantly. We're talking about chronic stress, poor sleep patterns, nutritional deficiencies, lack of physical activity. These factors can accelerate hormonal changes by years, even decades. But there's another piece of this puzzle that's equally important: circulation. Your circulation starts to slow down, and this isn't because your heart has somehow given up on you. Instead, it's because the inner lining of your arteries, that delicate tissue called the endothelium, becomes less responsive to the natural signals that tell it to open up and allow blood to flow freely. Think about it this way. When intimacy begins, your body needs to rapidly dilate blood vessels to allow a rush of blood into very specific areas. Without that quick, efficient dilation response, the blood simply can't get where it needs to go when it needs to get there. It's like trying to water your garden through a kinked hose. The water pressure is there, but the delivery system isn't functioning optimally. And when you stack on top of this the very real pressures of modern living, I'm talking about chronic high stress levels, inconsistent sleep patterns, a diet that's gradually lost its nutritional edge over the years, plus common conditions like high blood pressure, pre-diabetes, or full-blown diabetes. Well, it's actually no wonder that performance changes. It would be surprising if it didn't change, but here's the part that I really need you to hear and remember. In the vast majority of cases, your fundamental desire isn't gone. That drive, that interest, that passion, it's still very much there burning inside you. What needs attention is your blood flow and your body's natural energy chemistry. Those systems need what I like to call a tune-up, and that's exactly where today's drink comes into the picture. It's remarkably simple, it's completely natural, and it works in harmony with your body's own existing biology rather than fighting against it. What am I talking about? Fresh beetroot juice combined with a squeeze of bright, fresh lemon juice. Now, I know what you might be thinking right now. Beets don't exactly sound like the stuff of romance, do they? They're not particularly glamorous or exciting. But what beets lack in romantic appeal, they more than make up for in hard documented science. You see, beetroot happens to be one of nature's absolute richest sources of compounds called nitrates. These aren't artificial chemicals or synthetic additives. They're naturally occurring compounds that your body has an amazing ability to transform into something called nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is nothing short of a game changer when it comes to cardiovascular health and blood flow. It's literally the molecular messenger that tells your blood vessels, hey, relax, open up, let the blood flow in freely. It's like having a master key that unlocks your circulatory system. Without adequate levels of nitric oxide circulating in your system, even a perfectly healthy heart simply cannot deliver that rush of circulation that's absolutely essential for achieving and maintaining a strong erection. But with optimal levels of nitric oxide, with more of this crucial molecule available when you need it, your arteries dilate faster and more efficiently. Your muscles receive better oxygen delivery, and your overall endurance improves dramatically. And I'm not just talking about endurance for intimacy here. I'm talking about endurance for every single physical activity you engage in throughout your day. Now, this is where the lemon juice becomes absolutely crucial. And it's not just there to cut through the naturally earthy taste of beets, although it certainly does that job beautifully. The vitamin C that's naturally abundant in fresh lemon juice actually serves as a protective shield for nitric oxide. It prevents this valuable molecule from breaking down too quickly in your system. But here's something that's absolutely critical to understand. Timing, my friends, is everything when it comes to this approach. If you drink beet juice at the wrong time, too early or too late, you'll completely miss that optimal window when your nitric oxide levels are at their absolute peak effectiveness. Research studies have consistently shown that blood nitrate levels hit their highest point approximately 30 to 45 minutes after consumption. So, if intimacy is on the horizon for your evening, that 30-minute mark before you expect to be intimate, that's your golden window of opportunity. You want to sip this drink about half an hour beforehand. This way, you're not leaving your performance up to chance, hoping that everything will just work out somehow. Instead, you're strategically priming your body exactly like a professional athlete does before a big race. You're creating the precise physiological conditions for success, and you're doing it naturally, safely, and with your body's own biological processes. When men start incorporating this routine into their lives, the feedback I hear is often quite striking. Yes, absolutely. Erections do feel stronger and significantly more reliable than before. But what's equally interesting is that they also begin to notice a much broader shift in how they feel during intimate moments. Overall, they report feeling more energized, more mentally present and focused, and crucially less worried about whether their body will cooperate when the moment arrives. And why does this happen? It's because nitric oxide doesn't just work in one isolated area of your body. This molecule boosts circulation to your brain, to your heart, to your muscles, everywhere that needs optimal blood flow. When your brain is receiving better circulation, you think more clearly and feel more focused. When your cardiovascular system is working more efficiently, you breathe more deeply and easily. Your entire nervous system feels calmer yet more responsive at the same time. It's like upgrading the entire operating system of your body rather than just trying to fix one isolated problem. And here's something that my patients tell me over and over again, something that I find absolutely fascinating. When that underlying worry about performance is gone, when you're confident that your body will respond the way you want it to, the emotional and psychological connection with your partner returns in full force. They're able to focus completely on their partner, to be fully present, and enjoy the moment without distraction or anxiety. And that alone, that shift in mental state, transforms the entire intimate experience. It's living proof that truly great intimacy isn't just about physical mechanics and performance metrics. It's about feeling confident, engaged, emotionally present, and fully alive in those precious moments with someone you care about. Making this drink is remarkably, almost surprisingly simple, and that simplicity is actually one of its biggest advantages. You don't need expensive supplements, exotic powders shipped from remote locations, or anything that's going to cost you a small fortune every month. All you need is one fresh, medium-sized beet. Nothing fancy, just a good quality beet from your local grocery store or farmer's market. Start by peeling it carefully to remove that outer layer. Then juice it to extract that deep, rich, ruby red liquid that's packed with those beneficial nitrates. Now, if you don't happen to own a juicer, don't worry at all. A regular blender works perfectly fine for this purpose. Just chop your beet into small, manageable chunks. Add a small splash of clean water to help with the blending process and blend everything until it's completely smooth. Then strain the mixture through a fine mesh strainer or several layers of cheesecloth to separate the liquid from the pulp. The absolute key here is freshness. Once you've extracted your beet juice, squeeze in the juice of half a fresh lemon, not bottled lemon juice, but juice from an actual lemon, and stir everything together well. And here's a vital tip that can make or break the effectiveness of this drink. Consume it right away. Don't let it sit around. The active compounds in beets that boost nitric oxide production are quite time sensitive. If you let your freshly made juice sit for hours before drinking it, you're essentially losing a significant portion of its potency before it even reaches your bloodstream. Think of it like a ticking clock. The sooner you drink it after preparation, the more benefit you'll receive. If you want to take this drink up a notch and add even more circulation boosting power, consider adding a small piece of fresh ginger to the mix before you blend or juice everything together. Ginger has natural warming properties that not only enhance circulation throughout your body, but also give the drink a pleasant, energizing kick. It's like adding high-quality fuel to an already efficient engine. But here's important advice. Keep the recipe simple and natural. Resist the temptation to add sugar, artificial syrups, or chemical flavorings to make it taste more like a commercial beverage. Those additions will actually work directly against your vascular health and diminish the very benefits you're working to achieve. This drink is meant to be as close to nature as possible, so let the natural earthy sweetness of the beet and the bright clean tang of fresh lemon do all the work. Your taste buds might need a few tries to adjust, but your blood vessels will thank you from the very first sip. Now, before you dive headfirst into this routine, there are several important safety considerations that you absolutely need to understand. If you have naturally low blood pressure, are currently taking any medications for erectile dysfunction, or are on certain types of heart medications, you'll want to have a conversation with your doctor before starting this regimen. Here's why this matters. Beet juice is genuinely powerful stuff. It can significantly enhance the effects of these medications and potentially cause your blood pressure to drop lower than is safe or comfortable. Also, don't be alarmed if you notice your urine or stool turning a reddish or pinkish color after drinking beet juice. This is a completely harmless and temporary condition called buria. It's simply the natural pigments from the beets passing harmlessly through your digestive system. It's not blood, it's not dangerous, and it will return to normal within a day or two. There's one more consideration, particularly for men who have a history of kidney stones. Beets are naturally high in compounds called oxalates, which can contribute to the formation of certain types of kidney stones in people who are already susceptible to them. This doesn't mean you have to avoid this drink entirely if you've had kidney stones in the past, but it does mean you should be mindful and moderate about how often you consume it. And you should definitely discuss this with your healthcare provider to make sure it's appropriate for your individual situation. While beet juice with lemon works beautifully as a quick strategic pre-intimacy booster, the real lasting transformation in your health and vitality comes when you make this part of your regular ongoing lifestyle rather than just using it occasionally when you're planning to be intimate. By supporting your body's nitric oxide production consistently, not just on the days when you have romantic plans, you help your blood vessels become more responsive and efficient all the time. This approach makes your overall performance less dependent on timing tricks and supplements, and much more about your natural baseline vitality. I recommend aiming for 2 to 3 servings per week and combining this with other healthy lifestyle choices, a nutrient-dense diet rich in vegetables and healthy proteins, regular cardiovascular exercise, consistent strength training, and targeted pelvic floor exercises that specifically support sexual health. Over time, we're talking weeks and months, not days, your baseline performance improves significantly. You'll find yourself feeling more spontaneous and confident because you no longer have to plan and time everything so carefully. Your body becomes more naturally responsive and reliable. I've had the privilege of working with men who for years actually dreaded intimate moments because they were constantly worried that their body wouldn't respond when they wanted it to. The anxiety itself became part of the problem, creating a cycle of worry and disappointment. But after implementing small, consistent changes like this, better nutrition, improved circulation, healthier daily habits, they not only saw dramatic improvements in their sexual performance, but also in their overall energy levels, their confidence in all areas of life, and their general mood and outlook. That positive ripple effect touches every single part of their lives, extending far beyond just the bedroom. They feel more vital at work, more energetic with their families, more confident in social situations. It's a reminder that sexual health is never just about sex. It's about overall vitality and life force. Aging does not mean losing your vitality. You still have the ability to feel strong, confident, and fully present in the bedroom. You just have to work with your body in smarter ways. This simple drink is not a magic cure, but it's a powerful tool to give your body the circulation, oxygen, and confidence it needs when it matters most. Try it. Pay attention to how you feel. And remember, the goal is not just to perform better, but to enjoy intimacy more deeply with more connection, energy, and presence than ever.